We're going to talk about, obviously, the transfer stuff now. This video is going to go over on our YouTube because we didn't round up the transfer window and there were some mad deals late on there. Yeah. We're going to start it, for me, with one of the best signings of the January transfer window. I think it is an absolutely outstanding deal. It's a player that I admire a lot that's been linked with Liverpool, and I'd absolutely take him at Liverpool. And it's a club that I've been very impressed with this season. Yeah. And it's Sander Berge to Sheffield United. And 25 million, their record transfer deal. Just what a signing, Tom.
No, it's great. And Genk really wanted to keep hold of him. Yeah. Really wanted to keep hold of him until the summer. And then I think he had a conversation with him and his dad. And he just went, look, out of mutual respect, you really want to go. You really want this move. And I think it'll help him to be bedded in the second half of the season to go for next season, because Sheffield are definitely staying up. And I think, that Sheffield team is fantastic at the moment. The work rate, the work ethic, and hopefully they don't get picked off in the summer.
But this is the thing. A lot of people thought they've just had a takeover as well. Quite a rich businessman's taken them over. I don't want to talk about the ethics in that deal because I know it's a bit messed up. But yeah, so you've got that. And how well they've done this season. It's like you say, it's so easy that they might get picked off, but at the same time they're showing that they've got the recruitment in Sanderberg, that it's just outstanding.
Yeah, it is, and that's what you need to have. You need to maybe a plan for the future and going, okay, this kid wants to play now, and we're going to give him first team regular football. He has been fantastic in that midfield role, just running the show for Genk, hasn't he, really? And for how young he is, I think it's really good. I mean, it kind of strikes me as maybe one of these where he's going to go to Sheffield, play really well for 2-3 years in the Premier League, and then get picked up by a bigger club, and Sheffield are going to make a huge profit on him because you know what the prices are like nowadays. If he can become a real solid central midfield player, you can see the likes of Liverpool, you can see the likes of Chelsea, Man United, Man City coming in. I think Man City might be a big one if they're still faltering to kind of replicate what Fernandinho can do in the middle of the park. Maybe in a couple of years' time they'll look at Sander Berge and go, okay, we can be the step up that he needs. It's going to be interesting.
He's the kind of player that suits the way Sheffield United played and have played this season as well, hasn't he? And as I say, we talk about the recruitment. I think it's a fantastic piece of business for him. And it's like you say, either way, I think maybe even if he's there for 2-3 years, he's going to get sniffed up, and they'll probably double the price tag. Yeah. It is a superb deal for Sander Berge.
I'm really excited to watch him, to be honest with you. I am excited to watch him because you see snippets of him in the Champions League and what have you, and you're like, oh, this kid is good. It's going to be great to watch him week in, week out.
Just 21 years old, there's a lot more to come from this lad, and as you say, it's good that we now have him in the Premier League, and I think it's really good that we now have him at a club like Sheffield United that I think personally have been good to watch all season because they've defied belief. Most people thought they were going to finish in the bottom half of the table. Yeah. Most people thought they were going to finish 20th. I know Liam's probably looking at me because he said since the start of the season that they'll finish in the top half. But you know that they're playing good stuff, and I'm going to be watching them. Very excited to see the progression of this kid. Another kid who was very good abroad. He's now moved to the Premier League. Is Bergwijn. Yeah. Sorry if I've pronounced that name wrong.
I was just going to say Bergwijn,
Bergwijn, whatever it is. 22 years old, was excellent in the Eredivisie. I know his stats and where he's at the top of charts and stuff. It was absolutely superb. He had 4 goals and 9 assists in his last 10 games for PSV. Yeah. So it showed the form he was on. There were warning signs there. Mm-hmm. And obviously he scores against City on his debut with what I thought was a spectacular finish, really. Creates that new trend with that weird hand sign over his face. It's a great start for him, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a really good finish. I mean, you've got to have a lot of confidence to be able to take that on. And obviously, it's coursing through him at the moment. Down on your chest and then first time volley, it's really hard to do as well, to have that accuracy to put it in the bottom corner. No one's expecting it. It goes through a player's legs, I believe. I mean, great signing for Spurs. Everyone was quite excited. Yeah. And then for them to go out there and do that, just go, right, here's my debut, I'm just going to go out there. And we've seen sometimes it takes players a while to get grounded in a club because they're just taking time to score as attacking players and whatever. You saw it with Pepe this season and players like that. But if you can come in and start scoring straight away, especially in that Spurs team where look, they love to play explosive on the break football, and if you can make a finish like that, which is so fast, so off the cuff, you're going to do really well there. And it's an exciting time for Spurs, I think, because people who won't have heard of him, like he went Ajax, then PSV, and now he's at Spurs. I think it's 27 million.
Yeah, around there.
And everyone's like, we're paying 27 million for the 22-year-old lad. Is he going to be able to do the business? Or we scored against the last season's champions and set us on our way to a real good victory. Brilliant.
I think it's really, really good with Spurs. Obviously, when Mourinho came in, a lot of people were like, well, he's not going to follow their mould of buying youth talent, but he is. Mm-hmm. He absolutely is. You've only got to see this window, his first window at Tottenham. Gedson Fernandes, Steven Bergwijn. It's superb. A bit of business, and I have to be honest, I didn't think he'd do well in the Premier League, and I know there's a lot ahead of him. He's only played one game, but it was an excellent start for him, and it's a good finish. He shows that he's got that ability to put the ball in the back of the net, and I think, as you say, a lot of people were wondering if Tottenham would go out and buy a striker because obviously Harry Kane's out injured.
Yeah.
But I think, you know what, they've been sensible. I think they've bought a winger because obviously either Moura or Son will play through the middle at the minute, which means actually when Kane's back, they've got a person now to put more pressure on the wing spots as well, which will cause obviously Son and Moura to lift their form.
100%. I think, that, like I say, Spurs have kind of changed their way of playing, and we always knew that in the absence of Harry Kane, they always seem to play better just because you have a lot more pace on the break, and it's the way that Jose Mourinho set them up. I think Dele Alli's found a new lease of life. He's fantastic at the moment.
The other day.
Yeah, he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant at the moment, and I think the Spurs seem to be stagnating, especially after the Champions League loss to us, and it just seemed like, okay,
and
it's
Hol
not
Eriksson.
not exactly though, and everything just seemed to be a bit stale and sour, and Mourinho's come in and just gone, look, I've watched you, I know how best you can play. I'm good enough to do this. Listen to me, do this, and they're going really well. And I think this signing is going to do them well, like you say, bolstering them, pushing people for spots, and making everyone up the game.
Well, we're going to push a few more individuals in a minute and talk in more detail about some. I just want to talk through quickly about a couple of deals. Obviously, you had Tash and Oakley Booth, who's joined Stoke from Tottenham. Just keep an eye on him. He's very highly rated. Not too much on him at the minute, but I know you don't know too much either. No. But he's a highly rated player at Tottenham, and it came as a shock to me that they allowed him to go on a permanent to Stoke, sorry. And then Jared Bowen joined West Ham, 23 years old. That's why I don't really want to talk too much about him.
Yeah.
I just want to bring up the mad wages that he's demanded. Obviously, there was that whole thing. He was meant to join Palace, then West Ham brought in a higher bid. Then it seemed to take the whole transfer deadline day just to go through, because I believe he was demanding between 60 and 70k.
How old is he?
23.
Yeah, mad.
Come from the Championship. It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, to be honest, if his agent thinks he can get it, and
well, he has, hasn't he?
That's what I mean. So that's the mad thing about deadline day, is clubs can absolutely shoot themselves in the foot, because I say shoot themselves in the foot, it could work out for them, and it could all be fine. But now you can, like, it's hard to say to a player, we're reducing your wages. So he's coming in. People will be looking around the club and being like, why is he on this much money? And the manager and everyone's just gone.
It just shows where they're at, though, doesn't it? West Ham are desperate.
We had to bring someone in, and you're thinking, wow, you're getting bent over here. You know what I mean? West Ham are in a terrible position.
I think it's only a matter of time for me for West Ham. I think if they survive this season, it won't be long. And the thing is, they've been in this situation for a while, haven't they?
Yeah. And nothing good's happened. No. And I think if they go down, that's the end of them, unfortunately, because I think it'll happen like it's happened to Stoke, where they're paying a lot of people a lot of money, and they just don't have the heart. If some of these players go down into the Championship, are they going to care anymore? They're just going to get the wages like Stoke have done.
They'd have to have a huge clear out.
100%.
You think of the amount of very good players they have there. They'd massive clear out.
Yeah.
And how much they pay. Well, they don't pay anything for that ground, do they? It's all taxpayers.
It's a shame. I like West Ham have always been a real good club. I'm mates with a lot of people who support them. Really grounded club, and the new owners have absolutely ripped the soul out of them, and now they're getting bent over by these young players.
I like their bubbles chant as well, so it'll be a shame to see that.
It'll be a shame, yeah.
But either way, I think at the minute they're one of them clubs that have been on the strings, and they deserve to go down. Like, you know, when West Brom went down, everyone was like, it's been coming for a while. The same as Stoke. Yeah. West Ham are one of them clubs right now.
100%.
To go into players again, obviously For me, this was a deal that went massively under the radar on deadline day, and it's Tariq Lamptey who got given his Chelsea first team debut against Arsenal in the Premier League the other day. I saw him when he played Liverpool's under 23s earlier on in the season. He got sent off, second bookable offence late on, but he was outstanding throughout, and he's one of those new breeds of fullback that was incredible. There were rumours that obviously he was trying to run down his contract. There were rumours that he was going to go abroad to France. I know that at the same game, obviously through uni, me and Liam know a Coventry scout who said that he obviously is very highly rated and he had his eye on him as well, but he thinks he's going to France. And then he went to Brighton, obviously another Premier League club, played very good football under Graham Potter, and I am very intrigued to see how quickly this man breaks the Brighton first team.
Yeah, it will be interesting because, I mean, I honestly don't know too much about him, but you're saying he's a new breed of fullback. I think that's something that you need nowadays in a modern football team. You need to be able to attack through your fullbacks, and it'll be very interesting to see, like I say, the Premier League moves a good one for him because he's probably going to get more football than he was going to get at was Chelsea, did you say?
Yeah.
He's going to get more football than that because Chelsea have some real good fullback talent as well, to be fair to them. I think, he maybe he's looked at it and just gone, I need first team football. We speak about this all the time. Every time we do this show, we talk about these young players need them regular first team football. The likes of Sander Berge has been testament to that, where he's getting regular football at Genk and he's been snapped up. So hopefully he does break in. Hopefully he just shows that he's a talented player.
The reason I think it's such a great move for him as well is we know Graham Potter's a brilliant coach. That's his thing. In terms of management, you can see where Brighton are in the table. It's because they're trying to play football. They don't necessarily have the squad to do it. And I think Tariq Lamptey, he's a very good player. He looks like he's got massive potential, but he's not the finished article yet. And it's going to be interesting to see what Graham Potter can get out of this lad. A bit of Aston Villa talk here. Louis Barry's obviously gone there. We spoke about him a lot before. Just touch on him briefly. Obviously, the deal's been made clear now. He's joined their under-23s team. It'll be interesting to keep an eye on him and see how close he gets to the first team, how quickly he gets to the first team. Meant to be sensational. Obviously, he was at Barcelona. But the news, obviously, we've got League One Learn behind the camera. And obviously, his club, Doncaster Rovers, have signed a talented youngster, Jacob Ramsey, from Aston Villa. A loan move. I mean, obviously, I know quite a few Aston Villa fans, and I know that he's meant to be a very, very good young player. I told Liam about it, obviously, when he was signed for them. And then on Tuesday night, on his debut for Doncaster against Tranmere, he goes and scores 2 goals. Liam, what did you make of him in that game?
I mean, before the game itself, I knew absolutely nothing about him. So I was really going in with blinkers on. He's gone and got a brace. I haven't watched the game back fully, but he's got 2 good goals from the edge of the area. He seems to be that attacking threat that we've been needing from the midfield. So I'm very excited to see his progression with us.
How's it gone down with like the Doncaster fans though? How the Donny faithful feeling about?
He scored a brace on his debut. People are going to absolutely love him.
It'll be interesting to see how he does there. I know I've spoke to a couple of my friends that support Aston Villa, and they're very hopeful that he'll do well at Doncaster. And I feel like loan moves can really help players. We've seen with Herbie Kane how well it helped him, and obviously Doncaster, through that you can see that they have previous of picking up good loan deals for midfielders from the Premier League. So it'll be interesting to see how he does.
It will be interesting. I think you've got to go out there, and I'm assuming they'll get some regular first team football at Doncaster because they're a bit terrible.
Wow.
No, I'm only messing. No, but like it will be good for him to get out there, playing to like by all accounts a good little system, a good team at Doncaster, then go back and show what you're about really. And again, I'm reiterating the point: first team football is everything.
It is. It completely is. And obviously with Aston Villa as well at the minute, we know they're in a bit of money issues. They've spent a lot of money as well. So if they were to go down, maybe they'd have to get rid of a lot of their players and start using more of their youth. I know Aston Villa have a very good academy, and we're seeing this. They're picking up a lot of good youngsters at the minute. So he's definitely a player I'd say to keep your eye on as well. Another player, League One player to keep your eye on is Luke Masterson. He joined Wolves. Good deal for Wolves, I think. Before this season, there wasn't much on him. Goes in against Man United, I believe for his debut. 16 years old at the time, scores at Old Trafford. Now he played against Newcastle in the FA Cup, got an assist, and then he passes his driving test. A day later, he's sold for £1 million to Premier League Wolverhampton Wanderers, and he's loaned back out to Rochdale, so he gets to finish the season there.
Yeah.
But it's just a brilliant deal for a young kid, isn't it?
Where does he play?
Right wing back, he's played all season. I
fullback,
like him, yeah.
And so another one of them where he's kind of following the new modern mould of a fullback. Fair play to him. I think Wolves are a good side, and look, if he can prove himself and then come into Wolves' setup next season, they'd love to play. Like, obviously they're a tough side to play against, and I think when they played against us, he really isolated our fullbacks and doubled up on them, and some great runs from deep from their fullbacks as well. It will be interesting to see. Like I say, these modern fullbacks coming through, you need to have so many facets to your game, and I think, look, there's an influx now of these players coming through, if that makes sense. Of they've had a lot of years to learn this new system. They've been watching the likes of Dani Alves and Carvajal, and like, these are massive names of these Marcelo, these very attacking fullbacks. So coaches have been able to start drilling that into them at a young age, and now they're all starting to flourish into this. We see the likes of Trent, who I know he's a midfielder, but he's come into that role. But there's so many now where they're basically midfielders coming into that right fullback position, left fullback.
It was
position.
almost as if when Jamie Carragher said that thing about no one wants to be a fullback, everyone just started wanting to be a fullback and wanted to start changing the idea of a fullback.
It's because the whole game kind of flows through them, and you're watching Liverpool, who are so not reliant, but can be reliant on their fullbacks in terms of creating stuff, and it's been ever since Klopp came in. You remember James Milner in that first season playing left back. Everything went through him. You see Trent Alexander-Arnold consistently has some of the most touches in Liverpool's setup, and this is the best team in the world we're talking about. You see Man City again, and they've got good fullbacks, but I think they could do with upgrading them a little bit. But again, Zinchenko and Walker are always up and down, assisting the attack. You've got to have a good delivery, you've got to have everything. So again, I'm really excited to see all these fullbacks and see what they can bring to the game, because if that's the way it's going to carry on going, in terms of fullbacks are going to be a huge part of it, like, it's just going to up the quality and work rate of every team.
It's interesting. Sorry if any Brighton fans are watching this, but Rochdale are kind of like the Brighton of League One, where they've come in this season, they've tried to start playing a bit of football, but now it seems to be like passing the ball is more important than sticking it in the back of the net. And I think Masterson is, in terms of style, he's very similar to what Nuno seems to like with his wing back. So it does make sense. I can't say I watch Rochdale a lot.
No.
So I've only seen him a handful of times, but he looks like a good talent, and it'll be interesting to see how he gets on next season from Wolves. As I say, I don't think he'll go straight in the first team. Yeah. But it's a start for him. And then there's the madness of Anthony Robinson's
this is
mad deadline day. So in case you didn't know about this, young lad at Wolves, we've just been talking about Wolves, a young lad at Wigan, was at Everton before, gets a bizarre offer from AC Milan for £10 million. All agreed. Wigan put a statement out, I believe. He's in Milan doing his medical. The plug's pulled, and he's ended up back in Wigan.
Well, it was all down to the medical, I believe. So basically, the authorities wanted more stuff done, and I think it was going to take 72 hours for it to get completed. And that just shows you the danger of deadline day. It really does show you that you've got to get these deals done beforehand. He's been, by all accounts, like, I mean, I think the manager or the owner was talking about him, just saying it won't affect him. Like, that was his dream move, but he'll come back and he'll be stronger for it. He'll probably end up going there in the summer, maybe, if they haven't found anyone else that they want to bring in. But it must be mad for them in terms of, all right, I'm going to this club, I'm there, I'm ready to go, and then it's just down to paperwork that it's not gone through. And you see it happen. We saw it happen with Nabil Fekir and whatever. I think that was more than just the medical kind of side of it, but he's going to be hurting for a bit. And I think we were talking about going through adversity with Dixon Bonner. That's going to be that's going to be a massive thing for him that he needs to overcome, and keep working hard and make sure that when it comes round to the summer, AC Milan are still after him. And I think maybe he's on a few more clubs' radars now, because they're like, oh, why did AC Milan want this kid? So maybe we'll have a look at him and maybe we'll go into a bit more with AC Milan in the summer maybe.
It will be interesting to see. Yeah, I know Wigan fans have come up with an interesting jump for him as well to do with his Milan move, and I know a lot of them teamed up with Inter Milan to bully AC Milan about that deal falling through. Just to wrap this up now, Troy Parrott's literally just signed a new deal with Tottenham Hotspur till 2023. He looks like another very good young talent. And then to go back to Liverpool stuff, obviously we're going to do a loan watch next week. Rianne Brewster has been absolutely outstanding for Swansea. He's had a great start, 2 goals in 4 games. The reason I say he's been outstanding is because he looks like he's enjoying his football, and he's playing with a bit more confidence. You saw that video this week where he's picked up the referee's card and jokingly given. He just looks a lot happier, and I think he's found that natural goal scoring ability again, hasn't he?
Yeah, there were 2. I mean, we obviously spoke about the first one against Wigan, was it? Swansea versus...
Yeah, I believe so.
Maybe, and then the second one was Preston off end.
But Blackburn, I think it was Blackburn.
But it was a great little finish. Ran off the centre half and then put it into the bottom corner with maybe his first or second touch. I can't quite remember. But the next one, second goal, is literally the burst of pace to get into the position. And I know, look, it's a striker's natural instinct. He should be there. He's a striker. But look, the burst of pace to pull away from the centre half, and he puts it in with his his thigh in the end. But again, like, he needs to just keep up that like you say, he's got this bit of scoring form now. He just needs to keep it going, keep the football playing nicely. I think it's going to be interesting to see in terms of, yes, the goal scored and stuff, but I think in the build-up to his second goal, is like his touch went away from him in terms of the link-up play. I want to see more of that, and I know, yes, you can be a different type of striker. You look at Divock Origi, he's not the same as Roberto Firmino, but I'd like to see that in his game. We saw a bit of it in pre-season. Klopp obviously asked him to link up the play. Maybe he is doing that. I honestly haven't watched too much of Swansea, but I think I'm going to, just to make sure that I can keep an eye on him. Hopefully there's little highlights packages of him that people do on YouTube just to keep everyone up to date. But like I say, I really want to see that link-up play, because I know, look, Swansea don't have the attackers, that's why he was brought in, but maybe he'll be able to link up with the midfielders running on beyond them. That's what I want to see. Absolutely,
and I know Swansea are happy to have him, and as I say, he's been important for them in the last 2 weeks in getting the goals. Just to wrap this up then, finally, Bobbie Duncan, obviously, in the same week that our youngsters are starting an FA Cup 4th round replay against Shrewsbury Town. Bobbie Duncan is still in Fiorentina, getting a tan and playing hardly any football. There was a lot of stuff on deadline day about him potentially joining Sunderland on loan. That then fell through. Is it getting to a point now where you're feeling a bit sorry for him?
No, and it's not even out of harshness. I think he's made his bed. He's going to have to lie in it. He's going to have to... Again, it's another battle into adversity. I think that's adversity, sorry. He's got to go, look, I've made a mistake here. This has been massively detrimental to my career. People are going to look at me now and think, should we even take a chance on him because of his attitude problems or what have you? There's been a long list of them in the past. I think his agent needs to take 90% of the blame on all of this, and obviously he's sacked his agent off and got a new one because he's probably realised, wow, I have absolutely fucked this up. And it is a shame. When I say I don't feel sorry for him, it's because it's none of my business anymore, if that makes sense. He's not a Liverpool player. He's decided to leave, and he will have looked at that game against Shrewsbury and gone, I could have made myself, like, I could have been the player to score a goal there. You're looking at the likes of Jones and what have you. He scored in pre-season, did Bobbie Duncan, and you've got to think, if he would have just carried on, got his head down, he might have scored a goal that would have got us through against Everton and what have you. And now he's trying to get palmed off by Fiorentina. They're literally saying we don't want him to play, and it must be hard for him, but ultimately he's just gonna have to live with it.
Yeah, well, that's all we've got for today. Thank you very much for joining us again, Tom. Next week we've got Matt Addison from The Echo coming in, so we're going to do a sort of a different spin on this. It's going to be like the newsroom in terms of what we do. For that, it's going to be good, so make sure you stay around for that. Thank you, Liam, on the 1s and 2s, and we'll see you next week.